Last time on Two Fat Guys Pool List.
Batman 109.
Oh, yeah.
This was another good one. I mean, it wasn't as good as the Miracle Molly reveal, but it was still really, really good.
It's fun.
Yeah, I think we got a lot more action in this book, which I did like. Not that 108 we both really liked for the actual deposition. Like I think it moved the story really well. It was written really well, and this does the same thing. We get, again, every Batman issue opens up with Batman in a gimp suit, but now he's actually got some movement now in that gimp suit in the first page, or at least in his mind he does. He is, bro.
I know. I know.
So we get a little bit of, we always get a little bit of Scarecrow, a little bit of Batman gimp suit, and then we jump right into, instead of going straight to Batman, we cut to Harley Quinn and Ghostmaker. I will say this. I believe Ghostmaker is Tiny Onion.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. I think
he's writing himself into the book?
I think he's writing himself into the book, and that is Tiny Onion. That is him. He is Ghostmaker.
Interesting. I mean, I can see what you're saying there for sure.
Maybe
more like a superhero, like extravagant version of himself for sure.
Yeah. Just like the elegance. You wish you were Batman, but you're still, on point. You're quick. You got the money. You have the superior intelligence. You're a good fighter. You're savvy. And in this book, Ghostmaker basically says that he himself is much like Harley Quinn in the fact that he's a psychopath. He feels no empathy. He feels no fear. And so him and Harley have, they're both trying to fill each other out. They're trying to figure out where they are on the spectrum with Batman. And Harley's like, "You want to be Batman's sidekick?" And he's like, "Ha, no." And it more feels like Ghostmaker wants to be better than Batman, to be honest. Right. Like he wants to be, if anything, he wants to take the torch when Batman eventually leaves. And so they get a cool back and forth, but then Harley Quinn brings up Poison Ivy, and I forget her real name. They say it in this book.
I don't remember.
Starts with a D, I think. Anyway, what we come to find out is while she's with Ghostmaker, a former lover of Poison Ivy shows up, basically saying, "Harley Quinn, I need your help. Ivy is below Gotham, putting her roots into the city, and essentially has her finger on the trigger of like destroying Gotham if anybody fucks with her."
Right.
That basically what that is. And so she needs Quinn to go down there and talk to her because she's the only one that can really talk some sense into Ivy, which I thought was kind of cool. So we get a new story essentially that's going to be kind of pushing through Batman. I think a little sub story that Tiny Onion's been figuring out, and then we cut back to Batman, and Batman basically stops by the Magistrate office and threatens the founder of it and says, "Hey, where's Scarecrow? I know you have a beat on this." Jaden says, "Isn't it Pamela?" I think you're right.
Yeah. Well, she called her Pammy in this issue, so yeah, I believe that would be the right name.
Yeah. So Batman threatens the Magistrate guy. His bodyguard, who is not Peacemaker, is like, "I got this," and he like rips his shirt off, and you see his arm, and Batman's like, "Pfft," and he literally does like a Street Fighter sidekick, just like switch it, and just takes him out like that. Like, who gives a shit about your metal arm? I'm fucking Batman. Which I thought was one of the coolest panels in this book. And then Peacemaker shows up, and I don't know. I don't think Batman realizes who it is because that's the cop that he saved in Arkham. And I didn't realize that he had such a, I think it was last issue where this guy is like, "Yeah, fuck Batman." And I'm like, he fucking saved your life. Like, I don't understand why. I mean, if you blame him for you losing a leg and an arm, like that's whoever set off the gas, in Arkham, not Batman.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah. This issue did a really good job, I think, of giving us enough information to push two different storylines kind of going through this book that I found to be really interesting. I liked the Ghostmaker and Harley conversations. You're reading the Harley Quinn book right now, so I think you're getting a lot more Harley than I am. So I'm still kind of learning what this new Harley is. Joker War does a lot to set that up too.
I gotcha. It's not necessarily. The tone is definitely different in the Harley Quinn book than she is here in Batman. But she's in that same like trying to get approval of Batman, but she's clearly not trying to be the sidekick. That's
okay. See, like
obvious.
In this book, he straight up says that to her, right? Like, are you still trying to be Batman's sidekick or something? Which I think Jaden pointed out last week is like, oh, are they still trying to kind of make her like Robin? But I like these two as the reluctant but also desirable sidekicks of Batman. Yeah. I don't think either one of them should obviously be crowned a Robin and throw a Robin suit on. They especially Poison Ivy. Quinn, because she has such a strong identity on her own. It wouldn't make sense to put her in a Robin suit and give her the Robin name. But
no,
I don't know. I like this little thread. I think Bella, who's the one that shows up to tell Harley about Ivy, is introduced in that little snippet that we're waiting for that collected edition to come out, where Ghostmaker is introduced to. It's post Joker War, like 101 through 105. And we started like 106 or whatever. So
yep.
I think we've got like 1 or 2 more weeks before that hardcover comes out and we can jump on that.
Yeah. So basically after Batman threatens the head of the Magistrate, Peacemaker shows up, basically tells Batman, I am the Terminator, don't fuck with me. And in the process between their fight, I forget the name of the head of the Magistrate.
Saint. His last name is Saint, right?
Yeah, Saint. Saint basically says, "Don't worry about it, Batman. You're outdated. My Magistrate program is going to take care of the crime in the city, but we just need that little flame, that little start, that little match to start everything." And he blows up City Hall. Batman's like, no, and you have to get a little dirty in order to accomplish your goal. At least Saint does. And so then the chaos ensues. Peacemaker and Batman fight, and I thought it was really cool. Like, Batman's throwing everything at him that he can give him, and Peacemaker's just like, shoots a bullet at him. It's like ting. It's like a little BB. And so at one point, Batman turns the light off, cuts a hole in the floor, drops down into the darkness. Peacemaker's like, hey, I saw you went down the floor. I can see you because I can see in the dark. And Batman's like, great, I can see you too. And then they, the last panel is them like, freeze frame, Rocky 3 freeze frame. And so that's where the issues end. The issue ends, and then we get our nice Ghostmaker side story, which I absolutely love. And
it was really good, yeah.
I continue to still, like I said at the beginning, this is Ghostmaker is Tiny Onion. I'm telling you right now, it's him. This is who he wants to be. This is his superhero. Like when he was a kid, I bet he drew Ghostmaker and was like, this is my Batman. Like, this is who I want. You know what I mean? I feel like that's, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love this character, and I really hope at some point we actually get a Ghostmaker book. Like, it's his own book, even if it's a mini. I want it. I want it now.
Yeah. This backup story was almost like a little origin story for one of the baddies.
Yeah,
I found it really interesting.
I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's an original baddie.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
Either way, it's really cool because we get like a page and a half, 2 pages of like Ghostmaker dialogue, and then we cut into knowing a new, because like the last issue we got another villain origin, and so we get another one here, and I just like the setup because they feel so fresh. You know, they don't, oh, it's the Penguin. Like, no, this is a new bad guy, or at least in my assumption. I could be wrong. Again, we're new readers to DC, so maybe the bad guy, the first two baddies that have been introduced in his stories, maybe they exist, but in my mind, this is a fresh new character, and I'm about it. So overall, I'm still 100% on board with Batman right now. I think it's fantastic. And, again, if my former roommate and best friend, not former best friend, just former roommate, ever watches this and finds out that I'm like, oh my God, Batman, he's going to kill me.
Yeah, he's definitely going to.